it's Carrie here from the Female Entrepreneur Association, and welcome to another weekly dose of inspiration to build a successful business. So today I have a really great little exercise for you to try out that I think will hopefully that you'll love, because it's something that's really helped me. And I also have a story to share with you. So last year I was really inspired by a quote that I read on the front cover of a book, and the quote said, "The key to success in life is to not be afraid." And I stood there in this shop and I kept reading the quote over and over again, "The key to success in life is to not be afraid," because it really struck a chord with me. And I began to ask myself the question, if I wasn't afraid to do things, over the next 12 months, what would be possible? What could I achieve? And all of a sudden it just dawned on me, stood there in this shop, that if I changed my philosophy, or if I adopted the philosophy to not be afraid, that the possibilities became amazing. The things that I was able to achieve became incredible. And then as I stood there, it also made me think back over the past few months and made me think about all the things I hadn't done, really because I was afraid, and that fear was holding me back and stopping me from doing the things I really wanted to do and making the progress I really wanted to make. And it really reminded me of a little section that Jim Rohn does in his program, How to Have Your Best Year Ever, which is, I really love Jim Rohn. It's just timeless stuff that's so helpful. And I wrote down what he said because I really wanted to share it with you, because I think it's so powerful and so true. So Jim Rohn said this. He says, "I used to think it was circumstance that ordered my life. If someone had asked me at age 25, 'Mr. Rohn, how come you're not doing so well? Pennies in your pocket, creditors calling, nothing in the bank, behind on your promises. You've got every reason for things to go well, but things aren't going well for you. So what's wrong here?' It would not have occurred to me to blame my philosophy. It would not have occurred to me to say, well, I've got this lousy philosophy, and that's how I've got pennies in my pocket, nothing in the bank, and things aren't working well. I found it much easier to blame the government, the weather, the traffic. But you can order the entire process of your own life, and you can do it by the way you think, by exercising your mind, and by coming up with a better philosophy for your life." And there I was, stood there in that shop with this realization that I had made the exact same mistake that Jim Rohn had made when he was 25. The fact that I had been blaming external circumstances for the reasons why I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. So I'll give you an example. I would love to do events, but the idea of doing an event for some reason scares me so much. I'm so afraid to do them, and I don't even know why. I think they're just scary things. And my excuse for not doing them is always, "Oh, the time isn't right." That's what I always blame things on. It's not the right time. And I let myself off the hook because I say, "Oh, well, it isn't really the right time, so I'm not going to do it now. I'll just wait." I'll just wait. Wait for what? And so this is what I noticed that I've been doing. So I realised that if I wanted to actually reach my goals, have massive breakthroughs, really make the progress I wanted to make, and do the things that scared the hell out of me, I had to adopt a new philosophy. I had to change my philosophy. I had to really have this philosophy that was about courage. It was about not being afraid to do the things I really, really wanted to do. And so that's what I did. I created this philosophy for myself that I decided that I was going to live by, that I was going to integrate into my life, and really hopefully it would help make an impact in my life. And so my philosophy was this. It was, don't be afraid. You can do it. Have the courage. And so with this new philosophy, I started to think about the things I would do if I wasn't afraid. And I realised that maybe I should do some events. So at the end of last year, I really quickly, within a really short space of time, arranged 2 little events that I did with the Members Club. And even though they're only small little events, it was something really scary about me that pushed me outside of my comfort zone. But every time I wanted to back out and be like, "Oh, there's not enough time, time's running out, I'll just do it next year," which went through my head so many times. Instead of letting that take control, I was like, no, my philosophy is to have the courage, to not be afraid. I can do it. And I was like, "Carrie, you can do it." And that philosophy really helped me to push forward and actually go for it and do it. And then I took a next step, and I hired someone on board. I brought someone on board to help me to organise some events for this year that we're in now, which was a huge step for me because it was committing to actually doing an event and taking the steps I need to take in order to make it happen. And in fact, I said to her, Lauren, she's on board, she's amazing, and I said to her, "Lauren, I might be a bit of a nightmare because doing events really scares me, and I just want to let you know." But I said to her, "But I've defined my philosophy for the year, and it's don't be afraid, you can do it." And I told her all of this, and then recently in the post she actually had my philosophy for the year she had it designed, or she created this print for me and she posted it over to me, and I was like, oh my gosh. And it just felt like it was amazing, because I was like, this is my philosophy, and I told her that, and she sent it to me. She's just so lovely and amazing. But it just felt so right that I was being terrified at doing events, but this philosophy that had helped me to keep moving forward towards what I wanted to achieve. It also really helped me at the end of last year, because there were things I wanted to do within the members club that I'd always been like, it's not the right time to change this, it's not the right time to do it. Just being afraid. And so I actually bit the bullet at the last minute and made some changes, which resulted in having the most amazing success ever. Like, it was absolutely phenomenally, insanely amazing. And I was this close to not making those changes, this close to not taking that action, doing it, because I felt like the time wasn't right. So this philosophy has already had such a huge impact on my life, which is really why I wanted to share it with you, because maybe there's something going on in your life, and maybe it isn't about being afraid for you. Maybe it's about something else. But what if you actually consciously created a philosophy that you said, right, I'm going to live by this philosophy. You know, you don't have to live by it forever. Maybe by the end of this year, I'll be so good at not being afraid anymore and have so much courage that maybe I want to focus on another philosophy. So it doesn't have to be forever, but like, what is going on in your life right now, or what philosophy could you integrate into your life right now or change that would help you this year to have the most amazing year ever? What would that philosophy be? So now I've got some action steps I want you to take if you are up for this. So I want you to get a piece of paper and a pen and just take some time, like 5-10 minutes or however long it takes, to sit down and define your philosophy for the next 12 months. Define the philosophy that you want to integrate literally into every cell of your body, and that you are going to stay focused on. And every time you kind of veer off track or do the thing that you don't want to be doing, you're going to let this philosophy kick in and be like, no, I have this philosophy, I'm going to do it. So this is the first step you need to take. So have a look back, think back over the past 12 months, for example, and just have a think about the things that you maybe wanted to do but didn't achieve, or the things that were holding you back and stopping you from making the progress that you really wanted to make. Or even think about the things that you would love to have more of in your life. So like I said, for me, I realised that I let fear hold me back quite a lot, which I think is quite normal. I think a lot of us do it. But I wanted to take things to another level. I wanted to step up my game. And this philosophy of don't be afraid, have the courage really helped me to do that. And maybe it's a thing for you, or maybe it's something else. So after you've kind of written down the things that have maybe held you back, or the things you like more of in your life, the second step is to come up with a philosophy. And maybe you're going to come up with several. So for example, maybe it is something around fear and you want more courage. You want to have more courage to make amazing things happen. Maybe it's that you want to have more confidence in yourself. Or maybe it's something around self-belief and having that belief in yourself. Every time you're trying to doubt yourself and you have the worries in your head, you're like, no, I can do this, I believe in myself. Or maybe it's that you want to enjoy the journey more, and you've decided that you get so caught up in things and you get so frustrated and stressed out with things that you actually want to take a step back and just enjoy it more, see it more as an adventure, so that every time you get to that stage where you're like, oh, I can't do this anymore, you think, no, this is my adventure, I'm going to enjoy every single moment of it. And so maybe you're going to write down several different philosophies. After doing this, the third step is to pick one that means the most to you, the philosophy that you want to focus your efforts and attention on over the next 12 months. So pick the biggest, the most important, the most impactful philosophy for you. So once you're done, write it down, write your philosophy down, somewhere that you're going to be able to see it every single day, somewhere so that you can really integrate into your life. And then every single day, look at your philosophy, think of your philosophy, let it become a part of you, so that when something happens and it's holding you back, or whatever your issue is, that your philosophy can take over, and you will choose your philosophy over the fear or the problem or the challenge. So for me, it's about choosing courage over fear, over being afraid. So that's the thing now. I can choose courage because it's a conscious thing, it's a conscious decision that I've integrated that has helped me to move forward so much. So once you've defined your philosophy, head over to the blog post where this video is, or if you're on the blog post watching this right now, scroll to the bottom and leave a comment and let us know what your philosophy is. And we're going to go through the comments and we are going to pick one of the philosophies that we absolutely love, and we are going to turn it into a desktop saver, a wallpaper, so that you can have it. We're going to design it really nicely for you so that you can have it. You can print it off and stick it on your wall and just have it so that you've always got it to remind you of your philosophy for the next 12 months. So definitely leave a comment. But I hope this has inspired you. I hope that it will help you as much as it has helped me. And I will see you next week for another dose of inspiration.